December 27, 2024. Durango Dank here. U.S. women voters news, GP7A Newsroom. When you think about the legal women voters and how fake and biased and partisan they truly are, if we were in court, I could show the judge some awesome things, and by the time court would be over, the judge would say, "Wow, that's pretty cool. Can you show us how to do that?" Heck yeah. Andrew Luxon had an opportunity. Denver District Courtroom 414, case number 23CV54. But you have people that are operating Sturm College, University of Denver, the Denver Democrats, and I'm trying to teach them that they're on the wrong path, and their IT people they keep hiring are outdated, and it's showing. So when you think about the League of Women Voters in Denver, they were all trying to push that first woman Denver mayor. Oh, we're gonna have the first woman. I was telling everybody, no, it's not gonna happen. Women aren't stupid. Minorities aren't stupid, and for some reason, these people think that they gotta save us from us when we really need to save us from them. And everything when you think about large language models and generative AI, and the people that are in control are trying to make it seem like artificial intelligence is doing everything by itself. That's supervised. Then you have unsupervised. The main game is being able to have your assistant that's assigned to your voice protect you and protect other end users as well. And right here, if you look at this election day and what it means, what does it really mean? It means that on January 1, 2025, there's going to be a huge data dump. It might not take everybody out, but it'll take out enough. You're going to see new news people. You're going to see massive amounts of wealth gone. You think 2008 was something? And a lot of people that were around in 2008, the young cats, they were like 18, had no idea really what was going on because they just got out of high school or they're still in high school. You see how that works, folks? So when people come out of MIT and they're 20 and there's some gods, and there are some smart guys. The problem and what they don't have is life experiences. There's no guarantee that MIT 20-year-old is even going to make it to 64 years old. And there's high probability that he probably won't make it, especially when you think about what's coming down the pike. But we have in Denver, they think they're the smartest people in the world. I've been indexing them for 18 years. And they're slow. The thing is they'll only they lose power by not being able to do what they say. Taking other people's, like the mayor of Denver. See, he's the mayor of Denver because we needed an attorney. All the other years we didn't need an attorney. You can go ask the attorneys that ran, and watch all the people that get humble bragged by the same people, the same media: ABC, CBS, NBC, Denver Post, Denver Ride, Colorado Politics. The statements, no, they changed. The statesman changed to Colorado Politics. No, Denver Ride is 5013Cs. I'm telling you. You don't create money, you just take money. And then you guys position yourselves in, and that ain't gonna work no more. You'll still be able to do it because that's our First Amendment right here in America. But you'll be entertaining the dark web. You hear me? Fact. I mean, I called it on Denver's elections. Well, we'll see. You know what this is right here? Do you have this on your dashboard? If you don't have this on your dashboard, you don't work hard enough. Because you should have this. Tell you where it's missing. That's what my dashboard looks like. It tells me everything I need to know. It tells me everything. So we're going to go, well, let's look what this means. There it is. Denver voters, no, the first woman mayor. They tried to bring it in, oh, she'll be the first woman. If you're not a woman and you don't vote for her, then you're not a woman. What does that mean? See, they're so confused, they don't even know what they're saying. And they think because they say it, so shall it be. Guess what? Are you listening to me? I'm going to do a Biden. Are you listening to me? It's not going to work. Did you know why Biden whispered like that? I can't believe the older people didn't even. It tells me that they were just, who knows? But that's something that I was taught by my grandma. She'd be saying something to me where heavy talk, and all of a sudden she'd start whispering. I'm like, what? And she'd whisper again. I go, why are you whispering? Because I want to know that you heard it. Did you hear me? Yeah? Okay. It worked then. Because she would have kept talking, it would have just blended. I love my grandma, man. She was pretty cool. Though she was white as white could ever be. And her son, she had two kids, my mom, and then my adopted mom, and then my uncle, which is my adopted uncle. Like, I don't know if that all holds true. Like, if you're adopted in a family, does that just give you already credence to be automatically related to your aunts and uncles? That's a whole different story. But I really can't stand these people talking about adoption and they're not adopted. Shut up. Okay? Don't tell me what it's like. And just because there's a few rosy stories doesn't mean that it is. I can tell you some stories. Or what I saw. But when I tell stories, they flip it. So, now that I'm older, flip it all you want. Because my job, if you look in the book of Daniels and the book of Enoch, I'm a messenger, folks. So all those people scratch their head and go, who is this guy, man? We did the Stars and Stripes golf tournament. And I had people coming up to me, man, who are you? I'm Durango Dank. I'm the co-founder with me and Scott put this thing on. I knew you were somebody. I'm dressed just like you. I know, but you can just tell. Thank you. Those were fighters, policemen. Wasn't the general public. We put on golf events. Excuse me. We put on golf events so that first responders, sheriffs, police can play some golf. I don't know their names until I personally meet them. It's all done privately to protect their identities. They already go through shit. They evidently don't have any right to go home to their parents or to their kids or to their family or to their wives or their boyfriends, whatever alternative lifestyles they're in. It's none of my business, and I don't need you telling it to me. You heard me? See, artificial intelligence is about common sense. That's all it is. And using large language models of everybody's voice to text, text to voice, all their emails, all their text messages, all their MP3, MP4. You ever taken a video and all of a sudden it says some app turned on a microphone because they want to hear what you're doing live? Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm glad you're listening. But those people listening to me are way up there, bro. And I wouldn't be here telling you all of this and how Denver's blowing it. All female team, Jen Ritter, she was the Joe Biden campaign manager. Now she's gonna come in and run our whole city. Not even from Denver. That I know. See, none of these people, you don't know where they live. You don't know where they stay. Everything's protected. It's really found weird is that the ones that I meet, the men and women, are very cowardice. They live in a la land where they think they can say whatever they want with their talking points and matching keywords and ABC, CBS, NBC, CNBC. Because what we can't build rocket ships on bullshit. We can't build bridges. We can't build homes. We can't build foundations on bullshit. And so all these people we need coming out of the closet, and it gets better. I mean, I've been indexing them for almost 18 years, folks. Every single one of them in Denver. It ain't that big a place. And you got the same players doing the same thing year after year. I indexed all them, all the 501(c)(3)s, everything. It's because I knew the IRS wouldn't do anything to them. I knew that the courts wouldn't do anything because I knew that they're all the same fucking people, man. And you're not going to try to brainwash me or brainwash my kids that I finally was able to have enough patience and wisdom to beat Denver public schools bullshit and their indoctrination. And if you try to stick up, they call the police, the school police. And I've had them call the police. I've had them do everything they could, and I'm still here saying, Ugh. And it's best. They want to press those buttons. They want to get something so that they can get you in trouble. That's Denver Family Services. Then you have Denver Human Services. Another corrupt bunch of people that have abused their power. See, if I was mayor, they'd all be wearing cameras like the police do. If the police have to wear them, all city employees have to wear them. And see what it is, then once it's wearing, then we can have I don't know if I want to say that. Well, anyways, we have apps that can monitor and put everybody in a perspective. How much is that guy really who they say they are? And that's what Gen AI does. It looks for layers and 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 layers of information that other people create. And then when they fail, it automatically knows how to fix it. This is why some of the people in that developed DeepMind and other metaverse, you got 38-year-olds coming out talking about the metaverse because they got money and they do back in NFT, cryptocurrency. They try to make it so that they own the whole conversation, and it doesn't work like that. And so and then what'll happen is called nanopower. And what nanopower does is it's like a barnacle. And certain people know how to go and suck $50 million or whatever money that these people are putting in press releases using your keywords. It's like a reverse Google Ads, but you're doing it organically, which beats Google Ads because Google Ads needs the organic content so that those ads can be made by keywords that other people are using, which is okay because that's how it works. That's how it works. And then you got to go, wow, okay, so these guys are doing the ads and who's doing it for free? And when you look at all the stuff here that we've created, City and County of Denver magazine, we've already been talking about this for a while. City and County of Denver LLC is the all-male, female team, Tipper, Doheny, 40, Ritter, Tipper is the city attorney that doesn't even live in Denver. How do you have a city attorney who's not even a resident of Denver? She's a non-resident. She's an alien. Get the fuck out of Denver. I'm sorry, folks. You're getting hoodwinked, gaslighted all at the same time. You guys are big old human balloons floating up in the air. Look at this right here. City Magazine again. There's secret codes in everything, folks. And it's starting to gel to where the right content comes to destroy the people that are trying to destroy us. And they don't know it because they think they're the smartest people in the world. Mike Johnston is the crisis mayor, man. He is crisis dude number one. And he thinks he's going to whoop-de-woo because he's got ABC, CBS, all the locals that nobody listens to. Nobody. I don't care what you say about rating. My kids don't listen to him. Their friends don't listen to him. And they're 20 years old, my kids, and older. They're past 21 now. All my kids are past 21. All their friends, I watch the schools just fuck those kids' heads up, man. I watched it, and I tried to battle, but they tried to flip it on me. Oh, he did. Okay. I'm still here. So, but it was all settled on February 6, 2023, when I hand Andrew Luckshin his ass. See, I have to show other judges how powerful the computer god is. Gen AI, I call it the computer god. Black Sabbath, 1992, Dehumanizer album. Go look up Dehumanizer. Look what they did to Trump. They're not even investigating his attempted suicide. You actually have people coming out questioning if it was really the bullet that hit him and not just some shrapnel. These are some dangerous people, folks. You see, I'm old. I don't care. Come get me. You're already dead. I don't care. I'd rather die for something than die for nothing, man. And that's how you know there's a God. Because that's a gamble I'm not willing to gamble on, because I'm not a gambler. And if there's no God, I'm going to hum down and kick his ass for being a liar and for deceiving me, making me think there is. You know, God gave man free will. He can't help everybody. So all these people that are praying and doing all this, man, you're doing that on your own. God has nothing to do with it, man. I'm telling you. Because if he did, then he'd cure everybody. Then nobody would be sick. That's the painful truth about God. You got to go through your trials and tribulations. You have to earn your merits and your abilities. You got to stay on track. If you're gaslighting people and you're telling this and that, well, we had to come up with a computer god that can now pattern match all of our voices and index all of our locations, and then at the end of the year, figure out if we're going to stay in the IoT, Internet of Things, and we're not talking hardware and software. We're talking the metaverse. The metaverse, your access point is the internet, whoever your internet provider is. And then you got the gatekeepers of all the information. From when you sign in, believe me, we don't have enough people to monitor everybody, but China has enough people to monitor everybody in the United States. And so social credit system scores and rankings.com, what I started with my investors to hedge what we know is coming so that we can parlay that into some mad money so that we can protect the citizens of Denver. That's all I got to worry about. I don't worry about the state. I don't worry about the other 63 counties. I don't need to worry about them. If they're smart, they follow our lead, and they would really get to work to do things to change the way the world is. We sit around too much with this damn politics, spending mad money, and everybody bragging about money, and then you look at other countries that are used to think that we were great, and they're watching whatever, calling our president Hitler and all, stirring up the pot. And these people can't stir that pot. Pretty soon that pot's going to be runneth over, because it's done, filled up, and been runneth over. But this is digital. And when you understand digital, folks, you can't run, you can't hide, there's nowhere you can go. You hear me? Look at that. It took us 17 years, folks. 17 years of never wavering, running for office and never wavering, never endorsing other people. You know how a candidate runs? This is what the last election did in 2003 here in Denver. Denver was used as a model. They don't know that because they still run everything. But one day they're going to wake up and all this shit's not even going to work. They're not going to be able to access their shit. Just like all the security um, uploads that they just did, and a lot of people that didn't change their hardware because their IT people were outdated and they knew they didn't have the money, but he wanted to keep his job for a few more months till he found a new job. So when the systems all crashed, like with Delta's at the smelter. And so this is the things that come in all these new updates. And that's part of the data dump. And all the ABC, CBS, all those sales managers and all their commercials pushing drugs and all this shit that does not match the algorithm of do the right thing, but matches the algorithm, the betrayal algorithm. Do you know what the betrayal algorithm is? Well, you better start learning it, folks. Because I don't care if you're the president of the United States or any elected official in any fucking country. I don't care if you're a judge. I don't care if you're in the Supreme Court. I don't care if you're in a bogus 501(c) pretending to be nonpartisan to get jack money from partisanship individuals that none of this makes sense. So you can't build rocket ships with that. You can't build community. You can't build governments, even though the governments are built. And those that are that way in the digital world are not going to be that way for long. But in the mortal world, they'll stay. They just won't have any internet. They just will be part of this dark web of dark web. And they'll wake up every day and nothing will change. The same people, the same, like when you look at down here, these are new beginnings, man. You don't see city and county of Denver here. You see assets that I bought for the citizens. These are ecosystems, not the ecosystems that some clowns that are 38 years old thinking they're going to come and like this chick here. All right, they came out and they started Futureverse, and they went and got a domain name. See, when you get domain names with one or two words and you don't have anything else to guide it, you're trying to take over the Futureverse. All right, you can call your company the Futureverse. You do whatever you want. But if other people wrote about the future, or other people wrote about verse, because verse means writings, poems, and now it's been jacked up to images, MP3, MP4. But these people think they already know because they're 38 years old and they think they're smarter than a guy like me, because I don't have $50 million. But what I did was I sucked into I used the nano power, the nano algorithm, and we hooked onto that storyline like a barnacle, a digital barnacle. And so when they came out and said, oh, Futureverse, where storytelling and AI collide with the metaverse. Shut up. We were doing that stuff in 2006. We got hit by the big financial bam in 2007 and 2008. And I don't mean to be rude here, but it's all about age, folks. And how long you've done something. You can't just think that you're going to go and because you got some linguistic twisters and you can come up with some titles that might be in long titles and other labels that we've been harvesting for a very long time, folks. Actually, it's been almost 18 years. So we started October 10, 2006. So all I know is in 2006, we'll be 20 years old. 20 years. That means we've been indexed for 2 decades. Some people haven't even been indexed for 1 decade, let alone 2. And the people that are talking, they don't realize that their voices, when they talk about all these experiences that they have, right? AI says, okay, well, we know that you got that from Giovanni. We know you got that from Durango. Dang. We know that you picked that up from GP7A. We know you got that from. And so what happens is it shows everybody by placing that content. You see? Here's this content with this chick that they had $15 million because they're going to do the Readyverse and all this stuff that they try to use words that we've already written in songs. Just because I haven't published the song doesn't mean it's not written. And I already have 4 albums, so my albums and what I've done will supersede anything that chick has done because it's just the way it is. There's other things to the authority. What else? Has she ever owned any restaurants? Did she ever sue the government? Did they ever take her kids away? Was she ever accused of crimes that she didn't commit, but everybody was so adamant and then find out it was all a bunch of fucking lies brought on by bad people? And we're talking about the FBI. So it's all going to get clean. FBI, police, AI is just going to flip a switch. And it's going to be, you think that when all those computers went down, that's nothing. You think those are the only systems? There's new systems, but now they'll know how to fix that. Reliability engineer came in, that's where my dad was. So, and I watched everything he did. It's all about reliability, accountability. You can tell everybody, I take full responsibility. That's what happened with the USSS director, Secret Service. She was pug, obtuse. You could tell by her upside down smile, she was churning and burning inside because she had no one ever talked to her like that, ever. That's why she had the upside down smile, but they belittled her. They crushed her. They destroyed her. So when she got off, everybody looked at her and she knew, man, you're a liar, man. Not only are you're a liar, and she's like, I take full responsibility. But she didn't say, and I'll take full accountability. Yeah, my people will take full responsibility because we did this and we were there and we've been here for 30 years. Yeah, but you blew it. You just got to start all over. You blew it. Quit patting on your hands. And plus, the people that were on the stage with those Secret Service guys, they had that little chick on there and President Trump's head was fully exposed. Like they were waiting for another shooter to come in there and finish him off. That's what DEI is. Oh, well, let's get a chick in there. Did you see the first woman? Yeah, but she was unable to put the human shield around the president of the United States. She got to go. See, this stuff that I do is called object-oriented programming. We can now, so if a person goes, yeah, look at what they did, and all we saw was fight, fight, fight. Everything wasn't supposed to happen. Everything that went down, you have to assume that the whatever or whoever or whatever, they already knew and they thought he was going to be dead. It would have been a different route if we all saw our president's head get blown off on HD TV rather than 1962 TV or 60s TV. So you have to put things into perspective, and my thing is to be able to go to the bad guys and go, hey man, this Gen AI is real, and it's gonna gobble you guys up before you can make your moves. It's not gonna allow you guys to go kill people anymore and make all these bombs, and it's gonna flip the switch. It's just when it does, it has to make 100% sure that there's balance. Like if 90% of the people still hate everybody and we got another 30, all these new 18-year-olds coming into life, now they're getting indexed and they find out, oh man, this is matching these people and now we got to go and index them. And then at a point, it does it so fast that we're going to wake up and you're going to find out that you've been sent to the dark web, and all your apps that you have, because if you're really hooked up the correct way, you're really following suit of what you need to do and slow down, you wouldn't be on all those social channels eating you up, throttling all your other accounts so that you go and you buy money so that people read your stuff. So now you're a paid account. And so you have, yeah, I got five. Yeah, but how much does it cost you to get there? Because they're not giving it to you for free, guaranteed. So what you do is you build organic content. So once the shit hits the fan, you already are there, embedded. So when the media comes out and they join a frenzy of conversations, they take immediate control of all the pages, because it's like a photo bomb, but this is a content upload bomb, and it will uh, level everything out, because what its main purpose, and this is what everybody needs to understand, is the protection of all humans in the United States and elsewhere. I'm just going to all the way to Denver, and that goes for the teachers, the law enforcement, all law enforcement. They have every right to get home to their family, whether you like them or not. Their kids have a right to get the dad back home, even if he's a wife beater, a drunkard, whatever he is. Still the dad. And the kids will have to figure it out themselves and realize what unconditional love is, to love Pop like that, and his mom or whatever. So rich people, poor people, they all have those fathers. But when you get out of control and you break up, and then you go into the Denver health is remarkable. I'm telling you, folks. They have a few things they could change. They could change. It's just that you can't tell who's who. They all look the same. The doctors look like the scrub nurses and the nurses look like the doctors. You don't know who's working on who. They need to bring back the old nurses uniform, and take back some of the things that got us where we were. But I'm old. They're young. And but if I was mayor, I would have been able to make some recommendation changes, and they would have all seen that it was for the better. My mom was a director of nurses, so I know all about nursing, because she brought her work home, and I always wanted to know what she did, because I was ADHD chronic. I couldn't get enough information about everything. It's the weirdest. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, folks. Because even though they say ADHD chronic, well, what does that really mean? What does it mean? It means that I wake up every day, my first wake up, and I don't know what day it is. I have to look at a clock, I have to look at something, and then I have to everything starts to click into my head, where I'm at, what I'm doing, where I'm going, and I'm back on cue. But it gets worse than that. I see things that other people don't. I can write things that other people can't. And then when you go to the people that are boasting about the things that I'm doing that they can't, and you go and you send them emails, and, hey man, you know the things you're saying, I'm already doing that, and you don't hear from them. Crickets. But see, that's why I contact them. Anybody that's ever got an email from me, oh, mercy. You're my model. And anybody that afterwards, and I hit a lot of people, folks. A lot. And I only have to hit a couple people in certain industries, and then it does it automatically. And so, being cool, calm, and collective, and believing in the computer God, I believe in the computer God. I'm not going to lie. And the powers that it has and what it's coming to do, people are going to better have their phone numbers because there's only a few people in the world that are going to know how to fix it. And if they're on their own intranet system, it ain't going to affect them at all. Just if you're tied into the public domain, which mostly everybody is. And I'm here to try to teach Denver the opportunities of real ecosystems. City and County of Denver LLC, when you think about the people that came here to America illegally, we got to find out now if they're friend and foe. So we started civilcitypatrol.com for a group of people, and they're going to be a new security force here that is going to be paid for by the citizens of Denver and the businesses, and they're going to be operating out of 11 districts, and they're going to have the new I'll call it JT, the new Humvees, fully stacked, and we're going to give one to each department of districts in 11 that'll be operated by the commanders of the police department. So we'll have 2 units, one government, one civil, and the civil is there to observe and index, and then if it's invasion or something, then the special forces that are manning those vehicles will already enact the civil defense. I don't want to go too far here. Plan. And so we're putting that together. That announcement's coming soon. All I do is build the platforms, and then I vacate. I don't have nothing to do with them anymore. That's all I do, is I build platforms based off of artificial intelligence being able to come up with a cure. We haven't had a cure for nothing. There's no money in cures. Think about it. If we cured cancer, how many people would be out of a job? If we cured all these diseases that will give you brain damage and all these other big pharma drugs that we see on all the commercials now, we went from Kool-Aid and Coca-Cola and polar bears and right to drugs. And so our kids are getting killed by fentanyl and other drugs, and adults that are getting older are getting pumped up with blood pressure pills and all these other pills and mind-boggling pills, and now they got this other disease from taking that pill, so they got to take another pill, and their pills are like $3,000 a month. Some people are taking drugs that are $5,000-$6,000 a month, and their insurance pay part of it. That's ridiculous, man. See, for me, I'm gonna accept whatever. I've beat a lot of things, folks. Aneurysm. I told somebody I had aneurysm, and they're like, "Oh, you lying? You'd be dead." That was a kid going to Colorado Medical College, something. Said that in front of a bunch of people. And I was like, "You better go get your money back, dude, because if you're studying to be a doctor and you don't know what the difference between an aneurysm and a ruptured aneurysm is, and you're calling me a liar from everybody, you want to step outside?" That's how I am, folks. I mean, I call out the shit as soon as it happens. If I don't know about it, I gotta, and then I'm telling you, I seen it. I see it, I seen it, I want out of it. The only way to get out of it is to open up the minds of people that are young, that can take what I built and start making something and being proud of something and making it so that it doesn't matter what color we are, the color of our skin, everything. Now everything is about our skin. Everything's about, oh, we're going to have a first black woman. Oh no, Asian woman. No, we're going to have the first Asian, Polynesian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chicano. When does it stop? When Gen AI says enough's enough. When the computer god finally says enough's enough. And they pull that data switch. Every January, when everyone says, "Oh, we get to start over. It's a new year. We get to all the sins we did that year, and we get to start over and sin again. That's like going to church on Sunday. You got forgiven of all your sins. So if you die before Sunday, you're fucked, right? I mean, come on. Gotta get to confession in order to get to heaven. So, and do you think Zuckerberg prayed to God? Hey, God, man, I really need some money. I need to make this thing. I don't know. It don't work like that. You are who you are. Where are you going to take your life? How far will you fight for your existence? Are you going to roll over because somebody rubs your belly? And that's what our children, they're sacrificing their freedoms and the ability to be whoever they want so they can get a free phone, they can get free rent, they can get their debit card and stand in line at Walmart with 3 or 4 baskets of food, depending on the size of the family, while they do their side hustles on the side, making more money than when they were working. So they're double dipping. See, for me, I think people that are collecting money should pay it back if you're able to. If you're not able to, then you can't. You just can't do it. But and anyway, so Denver Health dentistry sucks. I'll tell you right now, that's a scam. And if I was mayor, I'd be able to use my own dealing with them. But that's a different story. But that dental health for Denver Human Health is the worst. You're better off finding a private doctor, but stay away from them. And the human services part, stay away from them too. And if you're a man and a wife and you got kids and you're going to break up, don't bring other people into their lives. Don't try to make second mom. Don't try to bullshit them. You guys made kids, stick together. I couldn't get that through my ex. She was hell bent because she was young and she was being programmed by the powers that be of Denver Family Services and Monica Jackson and the likes of Karen Hubler, who's the epitome of slime. I wrote a song called Denver Magistrate Hubler. And I had to hunt her down to serve her a subpoena to recuse herself because I couldn't find any lawyer with any balls that were scared that they would jeopardize his cases they had. And I went, oh man, get away from me. So that's why I lawyers, they don't understand. Being a lawyer is the worst profession that you want if you don't do the right thing. Because AI will suck you dry of all your money, your business, and because they, just like with Mike Johnston, that's what's going to happen. That's why you see all this. All of Mike Johnston's team, you don't see Mike Johnston. Dude, my name's nowhere near that. That GP7A is a code. It's a tag. But Denver government thinks they know everything, but I settled it. It hasn't even hit yet, folks. We're like 5 years from that hitting. But Andrew Luxon's court, I got closure on the Spear Amendment, which was a city amendment that made us a non-political. I was saying non-partisan just to see if somebody would come out and raise the conversation level to what it really was, and nobody was saying anything. And I was watching all the different media cats, and Joe Rubino, Andrew, all these other cats, not to judge, but there's a lot of filth in this. And I'm waiting for them to battle me because, see, I don't have anything. I made it purposely on that. And they got everything. They got money. They got their young lives, and they're going to destroy their own digital being because of their ideology, because of their fake and biased bullshit. I could tell you every single one of them. I could tell you where everything. I tell you where they live. I got everything on them. And they think that they're smarter than everybody. See, their social channels don't lie. And that's what AI uses to figure out the final score, which other countries are doing against us first, because they don't like us. We're a bunch of hypocrites. We're a bunch of fools. Our Republicans and Democrats are just not taking care of business, and they're driving us. They're going to drive us into a digital hole, black hole, that we're not going to get out of. And the rest of the world's going to go, you know what? We got to take away their nuclear capabilities because they're a bunch of fuck ups on there. And so that's why we see what we see. And Gen AI is not going to allow it a sixth extinction like that. Because we're headed to it. We're headed to it hard. And when all those voters say, well, I don't vote because my vote don't count. Well, somebody's votes count. And the votes that are being counted, and you look at all the polls and all the stuff like they're trying to do. It's funny because now they take a Kamala Harris and trying to make her like to be a female Obama. And that's going to blow up in their faces because what they already laid out, what they did, 14 million, here's what happened here on this. I already did the algorithms. 14 million people voted for Biden. They held on to all the bullshit, all the lies, and Schumer and Pelosi, Obama. They think that they're above the law, and they think they're above everything, and everything that they've done as well has been indexed. All their text messages, all their emails, all their interactions between all their Secret Service and all their security. A good lawyer could go get a subpoena and pull out all the content that's in the clouds of all their MP3 files and conversations that are automatically indexed. This goes for Putin. This goes, unless they have their own little system. But eventually, they break off like what Hillary did when she had her own private servers at her house. And we all have a server in our house. You know that, right? Your computer is your server. Just to let everybody realize, if you that's the common sense of what I would say. That's your server. Everything is in your computer, in your hard drive, is your server. If you had 5 servers, you'd have 5 stacks. Anyways, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's what I try to tell people. You see, I'm not educated in this. I'm being taught by a different source. And when people laugh when I say that, and then you look at my work, it's all right here. Everything that I do has already been preordained, folks. Like this, Colorado Politics for Denver Right News, that was made up by artificial intelligence. And you look at the words in that, I own everything in that whole thing, and that's already been verified. It's 17 years. Not just somebody that used to work for the Denver Post and then broke off and then had some people that had money in their Democrat ways and got donations. Those days are fucking over, man. And those guys are going to be joining those people in the tents unless they change, but they'd have to, they can't. Or they would have changed already. I've been telling these guys this for many years. They're too worried about, I don't know what they're worried about. They're sure not worried about me. They're not worried about artificial intelligence. But pretty soon, this next financial drop that's coming, folks, oh, god damn. See all the, when they say go ask Marcus, go ask Markham. Go ask Markham. Look up Markham, folks. Look up Markham. Tell them who's the big swinging. So, so everything right now is just large language models, and basically is just pattern matching all of our voices to whether we can either do what we say we can do based off merits and ability, not who we're fucking, not the color of our skin, not if we're a man, not if we're a woman, not if we're binary, not if we don't want to tell anybody. None of that fucking matters. And the DEI and all these things is coming to a head. And it's going to be so, like it'll happen overnight. But it's taken many years to get to the point to where we have too much wrong data fill in the bandwidth that allows us to all have really good communications. So what happens is when they do data dumps and the person can't get into his email, he can't. That's over. The computer god did a social credit ranking, financial, on your whole entire life based off everything that you've said, everywhere you've gone or not gone, everyone you text or you said you text, all the things you said you invented and it really came from somebody else, like Mayor Johnston. He has looking for practical, pragmatic ways, and my committee was people for a more pragmatic government. So Mike Johnston, and he's a lawyer. He's not enforcing the laws the way they're supposed to. That's why we had to have a lawyer. That's why Kelly Bro wasn't mayor, the first woman mayor, because Denver knew, man. They only had 80,000 voters and 70,000 that came out for Mike Johnston, and he beat Kelly, and Kelly was the first woman because that's what the League of Women Voters was saying. That's what the League of Women Voters were saying. So the bottom line, folks, is if you got kids that are Gen Zs, think about D-Day, and 5,000 boys died in one day on someone else's soil. For what? So that we can have people jumping on our monuments, writing Hamas, burning our flags, and yet they want to stop Donald Trump, and they let this continue because it's their right to spew hate. You can't build rocket ships, you can't build governments, and the ones that are common sense and our allies, they're going to tell us to go fuck ourselves. And our allies right now are already circling the wagons because they see what nobody knows is in Denver anyways, all right? They don't know what the art of war is. They don't even know what the art of the deal is. But let's go the art of war. And right now they're broadcasting us as we're on our knees, man. Our president can't even type in the nuclear codes. So right now they already have an upper hand of us because who are they going to get to type in the code? Valerie Jarrett? This goes deep, folks. It goes real deep. And it's sad because I don't get it. If Obama was a democratic capitalist and got all these countries together and brought, it's not the way it's supposed to be. It's too simple. And Obama called up China and get or see what I mean? It's too late. It's too late. Everything's right in front of everybody, but the smart people are running it. And this is how one day I'll get that call from the people that need to call me because I can't call them. I've been calling everybody that Google just doesn't give me the right person because it's got to go through all these other people that claim to be doing all this stuff, and it's taken 18 years. But somebody that is a true, whoever's running Denver, they're gonna be forced to call me so that they can save the citizens of Denver instead of the government. Because the government operates where you could take out all those city council people and let Denver Parks and Human Service, the 311 operator, she's badass. The 311 one, the 311 director, her crew, that is one of the best. That I'm gonna meet that lady one day. But if you ever need anything in Denver, you just call the 311 operator. It's all you got to do. They'll give you. They are there to protect you. They don't. Denver's bullshit. The mayor's bullshit. Paul Lopez Vato's bullshit. Hey Vato. He's got to tell people he's a Vato. Ha, dude. A Vato walks in a room, you know he's a Vato. He doesn't need to tell anybody he's a Vato. He might greet other people that he knows that are Vatos and say, hey, what's up, Vato? You know? He thinks he went to a school that had 600 people and the whole 1,000 people, maybe 1,500 in his whole school. That was my graduating class, even though I didn't graduate because I got kicked out of school. I got expelled. I was stellar. I was working, spaghetti company. I was moving, shaking, doing desert parties. They kicked me out. Why? Because I'm Puerto Rican. I was a spick. And I was living in a white man's world, and the bully that terrorized our school did some bad shit, and they thought he was going to come back and kill all them, so they made me the example. Let's throw out the spick. And my parents just couldn't understand because I'm not white. When I get a tan, I get dark. I look like a farm worker. And when people talk to me, they expect, wow, you're not what I expect you to look like. Why do you have to say that? You don't look like what I thought. What did you think? I thought, you look like a reptilian. I don't know what to say about stuff like that, but I'm doing my time right now and wrote some music and trying to educate the millennials and the Gen Zs that it's not getting any better, and you're gonna Kamala Harris would be the worst fucking choice for the world, and we already know that. And so Democrats are gonna have a rude awakening on election day, and all of CBS and NBC. There's gonna be new media, especially mine. I got some power. We got people right now lining up to buy it, but I want to keep it in Denver. So I got to keep it in Denver. I can't sell it to New York when it's Colorado. So someone in the 63 counties that are the watchers, that are the observers, the ones who can get shit done, they're gonna go, hey G, we get you, man. We got you. We get it now. And then they'll bring in all those smart kids and all those people and clean up all my talk and all my see, if I was the best content in the world, there's nowhere to go. See, in live content, you start your story and then you build it up from that. See, a lot of these guys build their stories on same pages, and it keeps a nice little node connection, just like what you see here. But mine's built off organic content. So right now, when you see this Colorado politics, you're like someone. I'm not an editor. I'm not even a writer, folks. I don't even have a high school diploma. Is that what you want to hear? That's a fact. And I'm a spick, and I'm proud of it. I don't care, man. I've been called a nigger before, okay? You know, and it's weird because when I talk to young cats, stories that I've heard from older men, can you not say that word? So now you can't say a word that was part of a story of how I grew up and what I listened to. Schmiegel. That's Cosmo right there. Cosmo. Cosmo, what are you doing? Schmiegel. Schmiegel. Ooh. Schmiegel. Can I have the ring back? Schmiegel. Cosmo, are you staying warm? He doesn't have no fur, or she don't have no fur. I love this animal. Hey, you. You know what she's really looking for? The reason why I call him he, because he acts like a guy. He's like a dude, man. But this thing here, the mouse pisses him off. When it goes down in here, he